Okay, 40,352 miles on our 06 GTO, and we're doing some live data. We got a, what was that code, Austin? It was like a P0300 code, whatever it was, Misfire, but it wouldn't tell us what cylinder. So we're sitting here live data, and we can see that cylinder 3 is misfiring a lot, and we do have some misfire history. We can see cylinder 1 misfired 33 times since the computer was last reset, which I'm going to say, who knows, probably the last time the battery was changed, right? And then you see cylinder 3 misfire history. There's like a lot, like 28,000 times. So this started this morning on the way to Cars and Coffee. So I'm going to say, if we're lucky, it's a bad coil or a bad wire, and if we're unlucky, it's probably an injector. I'm guessing it's probably a coil pack based on the age. So we'll get into this and we'll see what it ends up being. All right, here's where we're at. I swapped the two coil packs here. I swapped the 1 and the 3, and with the number 1 coil pack in the number 3 spot, the ignition miss has stayed with cylinder number 3. So barring any wiring issues, which I seriously doubt a 40,000 mile vehicle has, it hasn't been monkeyed with. I made the assumption it's a fuel injector. It's probably a good assumption. And I went ahead and ordered one. I actually found this one on Amazon. And this should be the same injector that the car would have been born with. It's a Bosch. And you can see the part number there. It's 0280158049. I think below there is probably a date code, maybe of some type. Maybe September 25th, 24. I'm not sure what the 6th part would be. But anyway, pretty cool. So I've got a Bosch injector, just like the other 8 that are on the car. And so we're going to swap that injector out here for the number 3. And so I got some work to do here, right? I'm going to have to pull the fuel rail to get this off. So, right, I've got a Schrader valve here. I'll take the cap off, bleed the pressure. I guess I'll disconnect here. That seems like as good enough a place as any. I'll disconnect the fuel here. I guess I could disconnect it there, but maybe here would be a better place. I could put a rag and maybe catch the fuel and not have it run everywhere. And then, of course, I have to go through and undo every one of these injector connectors. And then we've got the harness has a snap-in tab here and there, and then it's got them on the other side here and here. You can see that one right there. And they can be a challenge to get off. I don't want to break them, so I'll take my time on that. I'm probably going to have to just stick a socket underneath there and compress that little tab. That's kind of my trick I do. And but here's the injector connector. It's got like a gray tab on it, and you lift it up with your finger like that. You see that lift up? It just comes up just like that. And then I can reach in here very carefully and pinch it, and it should come right out. There we go. So you can see there's the release tab right there. And so when I grab right here where I've released that, you can see that tab move. See that? Pretty neat design. And these are still pretty pliable. You know, it's a 40,000 mile car. I know as the cars get older, right, that stuff gets more brittle and it's a real pain. But yeah, so I just have to get the harness undone. I think I've got 4 fasteners maybe. I think I've got one here. I've got one maybe down there. And we got one here. And we got one there. And I should be able to just lift the injector rail right up, and we'll take care of this problem and see if we can get this ignition miss resolved. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but I've got an inspection mirror underneath the rail showing this harness right here. You see that? And I was trying to get it out, but I guess the way these come out, you just got to pull on them, unfortunately. I'll tell you what I might end up using. I might use a trim removal tool so I don't pull the harness tape loose from this connector. I thought maybe I could stick a socket under there and release it, but it's just one of those mushroom style ones. It's not split, you know, so I can't compress it, you know, with the socket from the other side and get to it. So I'm going to have to just come in and probably just come in with a trim tool and get it out now that I see how it's made. That's nice. All right, I'm just going to come in with a trim removal tool and see if I can get that harness loose without breaking it. So we can take a look at the, you can actually see me levering it out. Yep, so I'm just coming in very gently and just prying right there. Yep, we'll see if she comes out without breaking. Okay, I'm gonna say just barely. Yeah, it still broke a little bit. Very frustrating. See that? It still pulled apart a little bit. God, that just pisses me off when they put stuff together like that. There's no other recourse but to do that. So I'm going to have to do that on every one of them. God, that's irritating. Oh well. All right, just coming in here, going to take this cap off, just bleed the pressure out. Got some rags here, mainly just paper towels. I'm just trying to keep from soaking anything with gas that I don't want to. I'll just come in and release that. Okay. I know y'all could see that, but not a whole lot came out. It's been sitting for a couple of days since I first diagnosed it, so maybe not so bad. Yeah, we got that easy. It came off easy. Yep, okay, not a huge deal there. All right. Then we'll come over here and we'll get this connector off over here. We'll disconnect the fuel rail right back there. I didn't show you guys today. We'll come back here and we'll take this connector off here like that, and then I'm going to get one of those quick release deals, and we'll come in there and we'll get this, I think we'll just pull it loose from right here. All right, I'm going to use these handy little quick disconnects. I'm pretty sure it's a 3/8. It's just 3/8 right there. And let's see if that gets the job done. I'm just going to come in here, snap it on right there. All right, I felt it snap in, and that should just pull it right off. Should be released. Come on now, hopefully hard to get. Oh, there we go. Pretty sure I got it. Yep, there we go. All right, she's off. Good deal. All right, so I'm just going to use a 1/4" drive with 8mm socket. I'm going to undo all these fasteners that are holding the rail in. Hopefully this one's deep enough. Oh, of course not. Oddly, there's a 8mm here that's got a tab on it that I have to undo. It looks like the rest of them use a 10mm. That's nice. Yep. Okay. I'm pretty sure that one has to come off, but I'll save that one for last. All right, so we'll just crack these loose. These should come right off pretty easy. They're just threaded into plastic. Yeah, these come out easy. Wow. Be nice to have an electric wrench for this one. Of course, the stud comes right out. That's nice. All right, is that coming up? Well, I guess it'll pull out. For some reason, it's got a tab on top here. I'm probably going to have to take that off. It's kind of weird. Then I got the one down here. Yep, same deal. Looks like for whatever reason, the stud just comes out with the nut. It's almost like a nut stud. That's fine. This one comes out as well. Oh, maybe it actually is. Maybe it actually is done as one piece. I guess it is. It's a one-piecer. Yeah. How about that? Okay. Get the other ones out. Just come around. Oh yeah. That should just come right out by hand pretty easy now. Oh yeah. Yep, nothing to it. All right, one more. Sure. Feels like these are like maybe 3 foot-pounds. Looks like it is a threaded insert into the plastic, which I guess that's nice. Get the rest of this one out. I really don't want to monkey with this fastener holding the intake down here. I wonder if I can just pull that out around it. Probably not. That's nice. All right, I guess I'll take that one out as well. That's the one that takes the 8mm. That's kind of weird. I'll go ahead and pop that one loose. Maybe I can at least just rotate it out of the way. There we go. That'll be good enough, I guess. Sure. All right. Sure. Okay. All right, that should be loose enough. I think I can get this thing out. I don't think am I held on to anything else? I don't think so. I think she's free. Okay. All right, let's see if I can work this thing out. Oh yeah. Those are in there good. Rocking it that way will get it. All right, got one of them coming up. Oh, there we go. Close. What am I hitting? I'm hitting something. Okay. I think I'm okay. Oh yeah. Now, I don't know if I actually have to take that bracket up or not here. I don't think I do. I think I can just lift it up. Yeah, I got these up. I think these are all free here. It just hits this, it hits that bracket, but I think I can still lift it out that way. All right, we'll get these going. Same deal. Wow. They don't come out easy. Okay, get those up. All right. I don't think I hung up on anything else. Okay, the question is, will it actually let me take these out without removing this bracket right here? This actually makes it a little difficult. Okay, we got that one out. We're just hung up here. Will it let me come out? I think I'm gonna have to take that bracket off. That's weird. I thought it would let me just take it out, but it's hung up back here for some reason. That's nice. I guess if I was really lazy, I could just pull out the bad one now, but I'm this far, I'll go ahead and I'll lift the rail. I wanted to look at what the other injectors look like as well. Tell you what, that's hung in there so good. God, why do they do that? Or can I just rock it? I don't want to force it. I'm going to take that bracket off. It just seems like a good idea. Yep, we'll just take that off. Why not? Out of the line off. Yeah, okay. All right, that's got it. All right, that should come right out. Careful I don't break any of them. There we go. All right. So want to dump fuel on anything? All right, we got them out. We'll just take a look at them. Okay. All right, let's go over here and take a look. Oh, great. Leaking fuel everywhere. Good job, Bob. Way to go. All right, let me get that mopped up real quick. All right, I drained most of the fuel out, but I set her in this drain bucket just in case, so she doesn't get me. And it's still leaking fuel. That's nice. Just kind of coming in here and looking. Kind of get a look at this. That looks decentish. There's number 3. Don't know why there's anything, why it's got a problem, but it's got a release clip here. I think all you do is you just pull it off right there. There we go. That just comes off. It's just a clip dealio. I come in and just work this thing out. There we go. We got her out. And there's the old one. I was just curious if the part number actually does line up. I think that's the part number right there. Right? And I think that looks the same as the other one. Let me go find the other one. I think I stuck it back in the box. All right. Okay. Let's take a look. All right, so there's the new one. There is the old one, which is not quite as legible. Let me see if I can just wipe it off with my fingers a little bit. Okay, I think they're the same. Let me get it in focus. 0280, 0280, 158, 158, 049, and I'm pretty sure that one says 049 as well. So they are the same. Okay. All right, I guess I'll get the new one in the rail, and we'll get her back together and see how she does. All right, let's get the protective covers off. Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah. Right, okay. And we'll get the blue one off. That one comes off easier. Hey, I'm just gonna take a little bit of Vaseline. I put it in a plastic bag. I'm gonna use that to lubricate the O-rings. I figure if the O-rings are designed to see gasoline, which is petroleum, I don't think a little bit of Vaseline is gonna harm them. I think I've always used that. I don't think I've ever had a problem with it. So, and I just put a little bit in a baggie, so I'm not taking the whole Vaseline container out here, right? And piss the wife off, right? Remember, happy wife, happy life. So there we go. I just took what I needed, and that's what we'll do. So we'll just put a little dab on there with my pinky. right? And we just want to lubricate the blue part of the O-ring so that it slides in easily, right? And we don't want to have contaminants. We don't want to have contaminants on the fuel injector that could end up making its way into the combustion chamber and passing its way out, like say like silicone, which might poison the catalyst in the system, the catalytic converter. So okay, I'm just going to take this, and it should just slide right in. Shouldn't be too difficult. Oh yeah, she just goes right in. And then if you have to rotate it right to line it up with the connectors, whatever, it's fine. Yep, these still rotate fine. And then I should have my clippy deal, and it just comes in from behind and slips on. In fact, maybe I can just lift the rail up a little bit. Then I'm just going to come in right here, and that should clip on fairly easy. Get a spot down low. We see where it lines up. Did I actually go in too far? I actually went in a little far. All right, and then it just lines up here. It should just snap right on. I think I'm still down a little too far. Right here. There's the notches. I don't know if you can see that or not. The little notches there it has to line up with. So we'll get that to slide on. Should go just like that. Get it to come down a little further. There we go. Easier said than done. Oh, come on now. You play hard to get? Oh, boy. There we go. Just had to get it to line up. There, that's on there. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Probably not great. That's nice. So I'd already went ahead and wiped down the injectors on this side. I put the new injector in. And I was hesitant to use like any carb cleaner or anything like that. I don't want to get that on the O-rings, but you can see here, they're still just a little scrungy, and it wipes off pretty easy. I'm just going to go in and just wipe these off. It's mostly just, you know, crud that was probably on there from when they put it together at the factory. And maybe there is a little bit of something that weeps past these O-rings, because you know it's really only sealing from here that way into the engine. And you see I'm just wiping off a little bit of crud, just so there's not, you know, little pieces of dirt or carbon that might, you know, keep the O-ring from sealing up. So I'm just wiping the O-rings down pretty good. And then I'll lubricate all of the O-rings before I put the rail back in the vehicle. So I'll just go around and just kind of get these wiped off. They wipe off pretty easy. It's not real difficult. I just have to be real careful. I don't want to get anything right in here. I want to keep these nice and clear, right? Keep those 4 holes clean. All right, so I'm gonna just wipe these off and lubricate all of the O-rings, and then we'll drop this rail back in and get her going. And it probably doesn't hurt just to go with a Q-tip and clean out every one of these injector holes before it goes back in. You know, just so you don't have any crud in there that might keep the O-ring from seating properly. We'll go through and we'll clean every one of those, and then we'll drop the rails in. And I'm pretty sure this piece right here, I think that might be a ground strap for the fuel rail. Interesting. All right, let's see if we can go in and see if we can get her set in without getting the injectors all cruddy. So I'm just gonna tuck her in down right here. Trying not to catch it on any wires or anything. There we go. I want to kind of angle her down a little bit. Same deal here. Making sure these plates are out of the way. We got some connector stuff getting in the way. I'll tell you what I don't want to get jammed up on is this dealio here. This ground strap's going to try and work its way around. There we go. All right. We got these just setting here. I'm gonna have to just kind of work my way around. The whole time I'm doing it, I got stuff reaching up and grabbing it. trying to keep me from setting it in. All right, that's lined up pretty good over there. This is lined up semi-goodish. I've still got the wiring harness kind of jumping out and grabbing it here, as well as this brackety thing. Okay, I got that tucked under the bracket, which I had to loosen. Okay, I'm just looking. I know the lighting isn't the best in here, but I can see. All right, she's tucked in there. Yep, and those are setting where they're supposed to be. But these over here, I'm caught up on this metal bracket here and the harness. She's just fighting me. There we go. Okay. I was gonna make sure these are all lined up. Still catching on something. Catching on a connector. That's nice. There we go. Okay. I think we're good. One thing I'm trying to remember, does the ground strap go on top? I think it does. Yeah. All right. So this stuff should just plunk right in. Yep. Okay. The rail's seated. Those just dropped right down. That Vaseline makes that so easy just to go back in. I can put the ground strap back on top, and this stuff should just line right back up. I think we're good. Now, I may have to turn these around a little bit to get them to line up for the harness, but I think we're good. Yeah, we're fine. Yep, that looks good. All right, so I'm just going to put the 4 fasteners back in. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. There's only 4 of them. I'll do this one over here with the ground strap first. Just move her over a little bit, make sure she's lined up. There we go. Get that one started. Yeah, just want to be careful not to cross thread anything. Get that one started. This one over here. This one's plunking right in. There we go. A little hard getting that one lined up. There we go. All right, 2 more. One down in here. That's fine. Just kind of scooch her over a little bit. Having a little trouble getting this one to line up. I think the wiring harness is still kind of pushing this around a little bit. Yeah, we got that. Okay. Tell you what, we'll grab this one over here first. Yep, that one lines right in. Make sure I'm not touching anything I shouldn't be. Yeah, it seems fine over here. It seems like they're all in. Yep, that one's seated in. Yep, I think we're good. Yep. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, let's get that last one in. I think I got that one as well. All right. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Okay. I know all these are hand started, so I can't strip them. I'm guessing. I'm thinking a good solid 2 or 3 foot-pounds ought to get us there. Oh yeah, easy peasy. one here. Yeah, right in. That's nice. Okay, yep. About 3 foot-pounds ought to do it. Yep. And then I got this bracket back here, which has got those goofy 8mm ones. I'll snug that down. And this is a plastic intake manifold. So I don't think I'm going to get real crazy with torquing this back down either. I don't know what the torque spec is, but I'm just going to do snuggish for now. And I'll probably have to go look that up, but I can't imagine as much. But I think these 2 bolts here are actually 2 that actually hold the manifold on. Right there. There. And then I know the ground strap is probably also one that holds the intake on. We'll bring her back down to snuggish. This one's snuggish. Yeah. Yep. We don't want to go crazy with those. Okay. I think we got that. All right. That looks fine. All right. Next, we'll just be hooking up all the injector connectors. Oh, I got my fuel rail too. Tell you what, I had to put just a smidge of Vaseline on that as well. That can't hurt anything. If I got any left in the old bag. Yeah. I'm just coming in here on the rail portion here where I know that O-ring's going to seal. And we'll just lube her up a little bit and make that slide on nice and easy. And that's just going to click right into place. There we go. And we'll put our safety connector back on. Easier said than done. What am I doing wrong here? There we go. Oh, it goes back here. There we go. All right, we got that in. That's good. All right, I guess just for good measure, I'll put this on. Just cover our Schrader back up so I don't forget the cap. Hey guys, I'm back. I just wanted to take a little time to get the bidirectional scanner hooked up. It's on. And I'm just going to go in and roll the key and let me know if any fuel is shooting out anywhere it shouldn't be. I'm just going to do that real quick and just come out. I'll take a look-see myself. Okay, I think the fuel pump did turn, and I don't see any fuel leaking anywhere that it shouldn't be. I think that's a good sign, right? All right, let's just fire it up and see what happens. Good sign. I think that little bit of ticking noise you're hearing might be a noisy accessory drive belt. It's the original one. But I don't see any fuel. That's the main disconnect. I don't see it puddling up anywhere on the intake manifold. And I can just tell by the way she's running, she's hitting on all 8. So why don't we'll take the camera off the stand and let's just see if we can come back here real quick and let's take a look at see if I can get the computer thing going. And I may have to let me adjust the light. Well, maybe I don't need to. Let me just get out of that and let's just go into I can't remember if it's Diagnostic. see Pontiac in here anywhere? Is it just me, or do I not see Pontiac? I'm trying to remember how I got in here before. Let me go back. Let's just go to maybe special function. Let's do that. Oh my goodness. Connecting. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. That's nice. GM. Sure. Automatic. Oh. Yep, okay. Nope, I didn't want automatic scan. System diagnose. Let's do powertrain. Read live data. Let's look for misfire. Okay. There's number 3 cylinder, and you can see she just sputtered just a little bit right there, but for the most part, you can see she's hitting on all of them, except she's still getting a little bit of a miss right here, but I don't know, maybe if that's because the spark plug got fouled a little bit. Not sure. But it's going away. I'm going to say that spark plug probably wasn't happy. It probably got fouled out. I took it out and looked at it. It didn't look terrible, but she's straightening out now. So I'd say we're okay. Now if we go down to history, did they have history? Where was history? 18 cycles of misfire. Okay. So she's still, oh, there we go. That's the history here, I think. Yeah, misfire history. That's how many it misfired when I tried to get it home from Cars and Coffee. And then you see number 1 had misfired, number 2. I think what happens is when you got one cylinder out of whack, the computer's trying to compensate, right? Because it's reading data from the O2 sensors, and then it kind of just causes havoc on everything. So it looks like I had 2 misfires just from firing it up. It's still sputtering a little bit here and there, but it seems to be okay-ish now. So I'd say it was definitely a fuel injector, but probably need to take it out and drive it and maybe clean that plug out a little bit. Of course, I may have damaged that spark plug from driving it, 15 or 20 miles home, but it seems okay-ish right now. She's idling smooth. I'm not seeing any like noticeable, misfires or shakes. 40,532. I think I may have transposed the numbers in the beginning of that video because I haven't driven it. So I think we'll just take it out and drive it and see how she does. I still keep seeing a misfire here and there. But let's see if we just take her out and drive it. Maybe that'll clear it out a little bit. Maybe even just, what happens when I just give it a little throttle? That may be all that it took. It's not misfiring at all now. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll take it for a spin with some live data and see how she does. I think that just kind of cleared her out right there. Okay, sure. All right. Oop, just got 2 misfires right there. 4, 2, just a little bit. Yeah, I think we need to take it out and drive it. We have the car out of overdrive. We're doing 40-ish, close to 2,000 RPMs, and we just want to drive her easy because she was sputtering just a tad, like we showed on the bidirectional scanner there. Austin's gonna show you some live data as we're motoring down the road, and I'm hoping I just need to clean off the spark plug a little bit. I don't want to lug the engine too much. I don't want to drive it too fast. Maybe take her up to 45, so she's like at a solid 2,000. We're doing the speed limit right now, and she feels peppy. She feels snappy. If I give her just a little bit of pedal, I don't think she's gonna misfire. Austin will show that. I'm just gonna give it like half throttle. That was up to 60. So she pulled pretty good. And I was noticing just a tad of misfire and an idle with the air conditioner on when she's lugging a little bit. We're coming up to a stop sign here, so we'll see how she does. I think we'll take a left here. We'll go down a slower road. She's still missing a little bit. That probably shows on the scanner. But pulling away, she's not noticeably missing or anything. She's pulling pretty strong. Speed limit is 35 through here, so I'm not going to push my lock. This is a highly trafficked or highly patrolled area here. So we'll go a little further out in the countryside and see if we can get the spark plug cleaned off. If not, may just try either swapping plugs and see if the misfires it before I spend money on a spark plug. But it's got 40,000 miles on it. Maybe not a terrible idea to put a whole new set of 8, but I think those plugs are supposed to be good for like 100,000 miles. So I don't know if that would be a wise investment or not. But right now, going down the road at 40, I don't feel her stumbling or anything. A complete stop, and I don't feel any audible misses. It's nice and smooth. Austin's just looking at the scanner. I think it just needed to clean the spark plug out. We seeing any misses real time?
No.
Okay, that's probably what it was. Probably fouled the spark plug up a little bit with that van injector. I'm gonna let this minivan go. He's got a last minute signal, of course. All right. We're just gonna tool on down here then. I'm still leaving the car to overdrive. But she feels snappy just like she did. This car's running great. So we'll bring it up to like 45. I think we've got a good mile and a half we can run like this. About 2,000 RPMs again. And I think she's coming around. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I did have the spark plug out and the firing tip was shiny. I didn't compare it to the other ones. It's the only one I took out. It wasn't like black, you know, or like oily or messy or anything like that. But evidently, maybe it only took just a little bit of foulage. You know, at the end of that tip around the porcelain to cause it to misfire a little bit. So all we did was just drive it really easy and kind of burn off what little deposit was on there. And I think that's all it needed. I think we're good. I think it definitely was an injector. Test on her in overdrive. We're just running 45 and we're getting ready to pull a pretty steep hill. Oh, nice countryside too. Kind of like Alabama. So we'll see how she pulls the hill in overdrive, turning, you know, 1400. I don't think she's going to miss, but we're getting ready to pull it right now. It's a medium grade. Practically flat for Alabama, but it's definitely a hill. And she's not sputtering or anything. Feels good from the driver's seat. Not sure what the bidirectional scanner's saying. She's really lugging now. Yeah, right at 45, pulling at the peak of that hill. I don't think she skipped a beat. How's it look, Austin?
I don't think it's missed at all.
Cool. All right, I think she's fixed. I've been filling her up with Chevron because I don't drive her much, and I did used to use bargain gas in it here and there, which maybe contributed to the injector problem. I don't know, but I'll probably get a bottle of Techron and dump it in, and then top the tank off. I'll probably do that later, and just put some miles on her. Just make sure I got all the rest of the injectors cleaned out, and I think she'll be fine. All right, I'm showing 543 on the odometer. I think we put 11 miles on it, and she is idling rock solid, steady, not skipping a beat. Austin can confirm that because the digital monitor there will confirm. Is she sitting there hitting on all 8 now? Mm-hmm. Not skipping a beat. So took 11 miles to clear that spark plug out, and so I think we're doing good. I'm going to put her in park, just see what she's doing. But yeah, she's rock solid, steady, not missing at all. super smooth. All right, so it was definitely a fuel injector, so that was pretty good, right? Process of elimination. We swapped the coil packs after we realized one cylinder was missing, and the mist didn't follow the coil pack, so we knew it was not an ignition coil or pack, and or plug wire. We switched the whole assembly and just ordered a fuel injector, put it in, and it still had a little bit of a problem until we put about 10 miles on it, because it must have loaded that spark plug up a little bit. But she's happy now, so I'm going to say, yep, mission accomplished. Hey, just checking out some cool stuff on this. It's hard to get the lighting just right. I guess this just showed what we were doing, our min and max engine speed. And then there's the cylinders if we scan up. And there's 3, and you can see 3 is not skipping right now. This is real time. And of course we still got the history, right, of, you know, nearly 30,000 misfires is in there somewhere. Yep, right there. 29,749. And that just happened last Sunday going to Cars and Coffee, and I guess it was just a bad injector. So we're good. I'm going to reset. I'm going to basically erase the codes in the engine so we can get the engine light off the instrument cluster, which is right there. All right, cool. Good deal. Hey y'all, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to y'all later.